Hello, good evening, and welcome everyone to today's Leadership Satsang session. I'm your leadership coach, Yukti Kapoor Mehndiratta. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you had a fantastic day today, and we are just going to make it a little better by learning what is it that we can do to deserve what we deserve as smart, conscious leaders. Despite being smart, do we sometimes feel stuck? Well, as I look around and ask this question to people, often the answer that I get is a big yes. So, what are some of the reasons why we are feeling stuck despite being smart? Is a question that we are going to explore together today. Will that be useful for you all? Just give me useful in the chat if you think that'll be a useful exploration, that it'll help you to know where and why are you getting stuck in life despite being a smart leader. Would it be useful? Give me useful in the chat. Madhvi, Indiran, thank you so much for joining in live. Will it be a useful discussion? Because I think we do kind of feel a little, confused sometimes, wondering where am I going wrong? I seem to understand a lot of things better than many other people, and yet I feel stuck sometimes. So let us see what can we do to unstuck ourselves as much as possible. I'm going to share with you 5 ways to do that today. But before we do that, you know what we do? We bring ourselves into the present moment, this moment right now. So may I please request you to sit comfortably wherever you are. Let's chant Om together 5 times. Place your feet firmly on the ground. I'm going to leave this screen behind a little bit. It tilts a little, but it's all right. You need to keep your eyes closed anyway, so please close your eyes. You can take your glasses away if you want. Eyes closed, spine straight, relax your shoulders. Take a nice deep breath in, please. Let's see if we can forget about whatever has happened in the day just for a little while. And we can come back to it just for a minute. See if you can bring yourself to your breath. See if you can feel your breath as you breathe in and out. Let's not be in a hurry to jump into the next thing. Let's just slow down a little bit, please. It really helps. It really does. It helps to slow down and catch a breath. Let's take another deep breath in and out. And one more time, a nice deep breath in as you feel the air entering your body. And breathe out. As we chant Om, see if you can feel the vibrations in your throat and notice how deep does it go inside your body. Does it go up to your navel? Can you feel it going down from your throat towards your solar plexus? Just be with it. And between the two chants, allow yourself to experience the silence as well. The silence between the chant is where the real power lies, the power of being in the moment. All right, let's take a nice deep breath in and prepare ourselves to start chanting Om. Nice deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Because we need to come back. Let's come back. Now I wish we didn't have to come back. Just be in this silence for a little longer. Let's come back now. Rubbing your palms together, placing them on your face and your neck and shoulders and your entire body. And slowly come back so we can get into this exploration for whatever little time we have today. And I really didn't feel like coming back. It was just so good. It was so good to just be with that vibration. Did you feel that? How did you feel? Give me some comments in the chat, please. How did you feel? Could you connect with yourself as you were chanting? Could you connect with yourself? Yeah, Neetu, is that a yes? Indiran, Madhvi, everybody who's joined in live. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you very much. Tell me, could you connect with yourself? Yes? Does that mean you're 100% here? Does that mean you're 100% here? I think the answer is a big yes. Yeah, that's what I hear. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. I just want to be sure you're able to see me well. Are you able to see me well? Yeah, I'm just confirming that. Can you see me well? Give me a yes. Feeling very happy to hear my voice. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm always very happy being here. Really. I think Tuesdays are like, I'm so used to this. At some point, I was thinking, okay, when we cross like 100 episodes, then that's it. And if we don't get these many people, then maybe we should see if we should do this anymore. And nothing of that made any sense when it came to the next Tuesday. Right? It was Tuesday again, and these questions were meaningless. So I said, doesn't matter. Let's just keep doing it till I can do it. And I can today. So let's go right in. Why do we feel stuck sometimes despite being intelligent, smart leaders? I'm going to give you 5 reasons. And I want you to see which ones you're going to go back with and what is it you're going to do with this learning. How are you going to implement it? How are you going to make sure that you don't find yourself stuck again? Okay, so that's your part of the deal. As I share these points with you, I want you to come back to this video later on and put in the comments what is it that you have done about the points that I'm going to share with you. Otherwise, like I always say, there is no value if we are not willing to take action, right? Knowledge without action can never be converted into wisdom. And what I do want is to share some wisdom with you all. Why is it wisdom already? Is because what I'm going to share and what I try to share through this platform of Leadership Satsang are things which have been implemented by people. People have benefited from what I'm sharing with you all. So this knowledge has been applied by someone, and hence we know there is a lot of wisdom in it. But it works that way for you when you are willing to apply it in your life, right? That's when it starts making sense. Okay, so here is the first one. Intelligence helps us to solve problems, but it does not help us to dissolve patterns. Now, I think I would have talked about patterns a zillion times in different satsang sessions. And why is it important to keep bringing that in is because as much as you can identify a few patterns, There are so many more which are still unidentified. So, the more I bring it to your attention, the more willing and equipped you will be and aware you will be to look out for those patterns which still haven't shown up for you, which have probably been identified but not worked upon or not identified at all. Now, these are the patterns in which we get stuck. Are you understanding? So what is it? What is that moment or the last such episode or situation where you felt stuck? And what is the pattern that is holding you there? That's the question I want you to go back with. Think about the last time you felt stuck. Maybe with your team, maybe with the disappointment of not getting the results yet again, despite explaining to people a million times. You continue to get this challenge, face this disappointment of not getting the results you want, or you continue to be misunderstood by people, right? Or you continue to not get included in things which are important, where you want to be included, not included in the decisions which you think you could have added value to. You're just not part of that circle. No matter how hard you work, no matter how good your relationships are with people, you sometimes still find yourself outside that circle. It could be this or whatever else, wherever else in your life you feel stuck. Please go back to that situation and see what is your own pattern which keeps you there, which is holding you back, which is creating this wall around you beyond which you're not able to see. Make sense? Please give me make sense in the comments so that I know you've got this one and I can go to the next point. Make sense? Yeah. So what am I encouraging you to do? You need to go back to part of your life where you felt stuck and see what are the patterns that are showing up for you. A lot of you who've been here regularly, and thanks to some of you who hear live every single time, but those who also watch the video later on, you know what a pattern means. You know how to break a pattern. We've talked about it, right? So if you identify a pattern, which means things that you keep doing again and again, you do A, you get this result, and then after that you do B. I mean, there's a certain set of things that you do, and you continue to behave in the same manner, and you're in this stuck in this hamster's wheel. If that's where you find yourself, how do we break out of the pattern? By changing something small about it. One small action which will be different from what you usually do. That's how we break patterns. So no matter how smart we are or we become, we need to still consciously look out for these patterns. They don't show up on their own. They don't. Okay, we good with that? All right. The second thing is what got you here won't get you there. Which means what? That, of course, you've done something right. Something is worked out. Something has made sense. Something has given the results that were desired of you, asked of you. So you are at the level in your life where you are. No matter how unhappy or dissatisfied you are with this level, it is a step ahead from where you were yesterday. True? Is that true? That means you have moved ahead. Now, of course, the ambitious you would want to be way ahead. And that's all right. That's all right. But you do need to recognize the steps you have taken already, as much as there are many more you intend to take. Now, here is the problem. What has helped us to be successful stops adding value to us beyond a certain point. And that's why this beautiful statement, also a title of a book, which is also a very good read, by the way, What Got You Here Won't Get You There. So we need to see what are some of the things that have worked for us in the past, which probably need to be relooked at. Maybe they worked really well for me till I was at a manager level, till I was an individual contributor, till I had 5 crores of revenue. And now that I'm aiming at 50 crores, now that I'm aiming at a vice president level, right? Now that I'm aiming at expansion beyond geographies, are these things going to continue to add value? Are these actions going to help me to take the next step forward in this direction towards how I define growth and success. That might or might not be true. Right? So, what are some of the things? Again, another important question. Please make a note of this. What are some of the things that have worked for me in the past, but they don't work for me anymore? What are these things? For example, I had a team of 3, and I have been taking weekly reviews since ever. Now 3 has grown to 10 or 12. And weekly reviews is a long time for me to be on top of what the team is doing, because so many of them are new as well. So I might want to try daily hurdles instead of a weekly review with everybody. Or I might break the reviews into 2 groups, right? People who are new into the system, who require a daily hurdle, a quick check, or a quick call with me every morning, and a few senior seasoned ones can wait for their weekly review slots with me. What is it that I have been doing as a practice for a very long time, which has stopped working for me because the plot is different, the context is different, the pace at which you're growing is different now? And to match this space, you need to question your own practices, even if those practices have helped you to be successful and be where you are. This is what it means when we say what got you here won't get you there. Got it? Please give me got it in the chat. Have you got it? Does this make sense? So we're looking at 2 things. We're looking at the patterns, right, that we need to identify and break. And we are looking at the practices that we have been following, which has helped us to be successful all this while, but might or might not continue to serve us the same way from here onwards. We good with that? All right. The third point I have for you here is, don't confuse responsibility with carrying everything on your shoulders. Please listen to this carefully. I have been talking about responsibilities a lot. I think even the last 2 months of our satsang sessions, responsibility has come up multiple times. One of the topic was responsibility, if I'm not wrong, though we haven't repeated any topic, and that's not actually a conscious effort. It is simply because there is so much to say. There is so much to talk about that in all these, whatever, 150 odd episodes, we have not been able to go back to any topic again, because there are so many more things that we need to share and discuss. But there will be a few underlying concepts, practices, right? And fundamental understanding and beliefs that we need to work with, empowering beliefs that we need to work with, some depth that we need to bring into certain aspects of life and leadership. For example, responsibility. So we've talked about responsibility. It's not just our ability to respond. It is a choice. It is a choice to do more than you have to. It is a choice to lead people from the front. It is a choice to explore the uncertain, the unknown. All of this is a choice. Having said that, taking responsibility does not mean making others irresponsible. Taking responsibility does not mean doing things that others are supposed to do. Are you listening to this? Because if that's what we are doing, we are actually doing disservice to our team by not letting them learn what it is to be responsible. Do you agree? They need to do their bit. By making them do what they're supposed to do, we are helping them to learn and grow. It might require a little more patience. It might even, kind of drop the quality of the output to some extent, because obviously with your experience and understanding and your expertise, you might get a certain level of quality. And it's somebody who's half as experienced or knowledgeable might not be able to kind of, cross that benchmark you've set. But remember, you have created this benchmark after a lot of practice yourself. So you will need to give that time to others too. And that is what it means to be a leader. It means helping people to grow. And for them to grow, you need to develop the patience to give them that space, that time to make mistakes. So when you do what they are responsible for, you make them more irresponsible. Never forget that. So you ask them to do something and they don't do it because they know that, you know what, if I don't do it for a bit, anyway, she's going to do it. Anyways, he's going to pick it up. And you do. And every single time you see the same pattern repeating itself. And then what do we cry about? My team does not take ownership. My team is not responsible. So the question I would want you to ask yourself is, am I jumping in too early? Am I rescuing them too often? Can I hold that urge to jump in and fix stuff, which can be fixed by them too? And if I don't let them do that, they never will. This is where we get stuck. We are stuck with the execution because those who are supposed to execute make mistakes or look at us with the hope that we will do it, and we do. We do exactly what they expect us to do. So, in the process, what happens is, in the name of responsibility, we land up staying as an executor only. There is no time you give yourself to become more strategic. And that's what leaders are supposed to be. You need to be at a level where you're strategizing your business, not executing. To execute, you have a team. Isn't that true? Right? So let's remember that being responsible does not mean taking everything on yourself. Otherwise, you will feel stuck, not now, but forever, because your plate is always overflowing, because you're doing what you're not supposed to do. So, a question that I want to leave you with is, what are some of the things that you are doing which you're not supposed to do? Next question, why are you doing it? Next question, what are the fears attached to jumping in too soon? Why are you jumping in too soon? What is the pressure that you're feeling on yourself which makes you jump in too soon? These are the questions I want you to ask yourself. Have you made a note of it? Please give me noted in the comments. Please just say noted. Have you noted these three? Yeah, is it so far so good? Big mindset shift? Absolutely. Surely jump in so this helps. Wonderful, wonderful. Let's not do that, Madhvi. Let us kind of know that we have the capability to do at least 10 times without changing anything around you and without knowing your business, even without knowing some of you, and I might not know a lot of you so well. People will be probably watching this video later on for sure. I might not know what you do, but let me tell you this. On an average, the level of potential that we use, the extent of our potential that we use is so suboptimal that if you just bring these points to life without hiring more people or doing anything too dramatically different, you will be able to double your productivity. I promise you that. Just this session, just listen to the questions I'm asking you. Ask these questions to yourself on a pen and paper, not here. Because you know what? This is busy. There's always a show going on here, isn't it? So please do not interrupt. Because even if you do, you will kind of go back to the show. So to be able to stop that show, that mental chatter, you need to pick a pen and paper and write down the answer to these questions. And that is what takes me to the next point, which is taking time out to connect with your inner world. Reflect, guys. Reflect on daily basis. I'm going to give you a few questions to reflect upon outside of what I've already shared. What is it that you should be reflecting upon? Question number one. Why am I reacting to this or these situations? Wherever you find yourself reacting a lot more than responding, please ask yourself this question at the end of the day. Did I react to anything today? Why did I react in that situation or in such similar situations? That's the first question. Second, what am I afraid of? What am I afraid of? Am I afraid of growth? Am I afraid of success? Am I afraid of growing too big? What am I afraid of? Am I afraid of failing? Am I afraid of being judged? What am I afraid of? And the last question is, what part of me feels insecure? What part of me feels insecure or unsafe? What part of me feels insecure or unsafe? Because this is the part that puts me into this endless loop. Because the loop somehow also creates a layer of protection, right? I kind of feel safe in this cocoon, isn't it? So, what brings me into this cocoon every now and then? What is so unsafe outside of this cocoon? What am I feeling so unsafe or insecure about? These are three super powerful questions you should be asking yourself every day. And these are not the kind of questions you should sleep with, in the sense that don't answer them before going to bed. Answer them sometime during the day, start of the day, any time other than last thing at night. So, last thing at night, what you want to do just before going to bed is to read something meaningful. Or maybe sit and journal how your day was per se. Or, of course, I mean, you can always write down a zillion things that you're grateful for and all those good practices, right? You could do all that or just sit in silence, close your eyes like I do, just meditate for 5, 10 minutes, calm down, switch off the lights here, right? Before you switch off the lights in the room and get into your beauty sleep, right? So don't bother yourself with these reflection questions before you sleep, please. Do it in the morning, do it anytime in the day. Avoid doing it as the last thing in the day. This requires a little deeper thinking, and I don't want you to overthink. Smart people do not want to waste their energy overthinking. Overthinking never gives you any solution. You know what overthinking does? It exaggerates the problem. That's what it does. That's it. And there is no point in exaggerating a problem, isn't it? Something that you're already seeing as a problem instead of a situation. Now it's already appearing as a problem, and then you keep thinking and thinking and thinking about it. Does it help to solve it? Absolutely not. It what does it do? It just makes it larger than life, isn't it? And that's not what we want to do. So these questions are for you to reflect upon certain parts of your life and your mind with absolute honesty. It does require a little bit of depth, and therefore it should be done when your mind is active. Got it? So, what are the 4 points? And there's a fifth one. As I promised, I'm going to give you five. Let's just quickly look at the four I've already covered. Number one, intelligence solves problems but doesn't dissolve your patterns. So, identify your patterns and break them. Number two, what got you here won't get you there. So, be mindful of what is it that you need to let go? What is it that you need to learn about yourself? What is it that you need to unlearn? Right? Those are the practices that you need to bring in or break out of. Third, do not confuse responsibility with carrying everything yourself. When you take responsibility of everything, you make others irresponsible. Fourth, pay attention to your inner world and connect with yourself and reflect. And the fifth is to stop celebrating your past laurels. Okay, you achieved what you achieved. Wonderful. You have a success story there. Wow, you have a few things to feel great about. And that's fantastic. And there is a need and time for you to remind yourself of all of that. But you know what? When you win something, when you come back home, you dive into a little celebration with yourself or with a few close people around, and then take that crown off your head and place it nicely somewhere in a shelf that has two doors which you can close, so that you don't waste all your time just looking at those crowns and trophies and get stuck there, right? When we start adding a lot to our baggage of success, the baggage becomes so heavy that it makes it difficult for us to take the next step forward. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, when I start these corporate workshops, just at the start of these workshops with the senior guys that I usually address, I am in a room which has probably 500 years of experience, if I cumulatively look at the experience of everyone in the room, can you imagine the heaviness in that room, the heaviness in that energy? Like there are so many people who somewhere at the back of their mind, if not actively, are thinking that they've seen the world, they've traveled the world, they've read stuff, they know a lot of stuff. And look at me, I'm so open and nice that I'm still here for this training with Yukti. And, I'm so open to learning. And as much as I appreciate that thought, does it really resonate with your honesty? Because you know what? Sometimes what we say and what we think are not congruent. And it's not because you want that incongruence. You don't want that. But you're stuck with the fact that you have so much experience, that you have so much success you've enjoyed in your life, that you have so many people who look up to you for who you are. And yet you're here to learn leadership, and people kind of name you as synonymous to good leadership or transformational leadership or level 5 leadership or whatever else you want to call yourself, right? There could be a lot of people, and I have no doubt, who will look up to you and say, hey, you know what, you're my role model. When I think of a good leader, I think of you. But that is what makes it even more important for a leader like you to continue improving and getting to a better version of yourself. So, what is it that I do with them when I'm in the room with this 500 years of experience? I make them park this bag outside. They take this baggage of success, and they go outside the room and they park it outside. Their experience, their age, their laurels, all that is out of the window. And then they come back. And this is done physically, like actually, right? In action. So they would write all of this down and go out of the room and put this shit outside. So that when they come back to this learning environment, they are genuinely, honestly sitting with no baggage of success, no laurels to enjoy or look at anymore. Only then are you in a position to earn more laurels, right? To deserve another crown, even though you're not aiming for it. And that always is and should be a byproduct. You understand what I'm saying? Like the purpose is to get the best out of the team. The purpose is to contribute towards the profitability of the organization that pays you your salary. The purpose is to take your business to the next level so that these 5 people who joined hands with you when you started, right, start living a better life and a better lifestyle, right? And you're able to employ 5 more and 15 more and 50 more, and all of that aligned towards the purpose, the vision that you have for yourself, for your life, for your business. Isn't it? If that's the path that you're looking at, then you realize there's a long way to go for us to get to our next best version and the next best and then the next best. And there is no end to it. And in this journey, all these laurels and trophies and applauses will just follow you. You don't go chasing them. And even when they follow you, when you meet them somewhere on these milestones of life or this journey of life, stop, pause, smile, celebrate, and move on. Move on towards the next step that takes you closer to the direction that you're looking at, the purpose that drives you. That's what we do. That's what we do as spiritual leaders. That's what we do as conscious leaders. Isn't it? And if you remember these 5 points, you will never find yourself stuck. You will find yourself as work in progress forever. Because that's what it really means. That's what it really means to work on ourselves, to get to a better version. It is when we choose to be work in progress forever. And like I always say, if there is no work, there is no progress. There can be no progress, right? So you've got to be consciously working on yourself. So I hope these 5 points are helping you to bring in that work, some more clarity on what work is required. What is it that you can do, you need to do to get to your next level? What is it that you can do to unstuck yourself if you find stuck somewhere in life? And keep going one step at a time towards creating a better world around you and becoming a better person yourself. I hope this was useful. I really want to know which one of these was like a light bulb moment for you, right? What absolutely stood out, and what are you willing to commit to 100%? It could be one or all of these. Please do share in the comments. I would love to know. And of course, also share if there are any specific challenges you're facing, which I can take up in the satsang sessions for this year, lined up anytime soon. And in the meantime, take good care of yourself. I will see you next week with another important insight in the space of leadership and spirituality. Please do let me know how was this satsang session today for you all. Till then, take good care of yourself. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Good night.